Our fellow Pavlovians, in a time of grief we are addressing you, for the once glorious empire had perished. Her people, God's chosen nation, scattered all over the flat earth, not unlike the stars on the eternal blue heaven. The abomination of desolation reigns supreme in our holy places, and foreign usurpers profane their hand. The land of Pavlov was the birthplace of the Pavlovian people. Here their spiritual, religious, and political identity were shaped. Here they first attained to the statehood, created their religious values of national and universal significance, and gave to the world the eternal capital of Christianity. After being forcibly exiled from their land, the people kept faith with it throughout their dispersion and never ceased to pray and hope for the return to it and for the restoration in it of their political freedom. Impelled by this historic and traditional attachment, Pavlovians strove in every successive generation to re-establish themselves in their ancient homeland. In recent months, they returned in their masses, pioneers, defiant returnees, and the defenders. They made deserts bloom, revived the Pavlovian language, built villages and towns, and created a thriving community controlling their own economy and culture. They love peace, but know how to defend themselves, bringing the blessings of progress to all the country's inhabitants and aspiring towards independent nationhood. The Pavlovian soul yearns for her forsaken homeland and cried in the wilderness, never seeking a refuge. Such an ecstatic to this cry that reached the very peak of its heaven, where our Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and Jesus sit in his glory on a diamond throne surrounded by angels, who in his boundless mercy hath allowed us, his most obedient servant, to proclaim thou the following. Do not ye dread, for lo, I preach ye a great joy, that shall be to all Pavlovians. Glad tidings to thee, and expect good, raise thy head high, for today, by God's grace, thou have once again a state, which will return thy dignity, might, rights, and leadership. The Empire of Pavlov, our much cherished homeland, shall be back soon. In the year 7523, that means in the calendar of the heretics, 2014, at the summons of the spiritual father of the Pavlovian state, ourselves, the members of the council of the former Grand Principality of Snezhnanople, convened and proclaimed the right of the Pavlovian people to national rebirth in their own country, the then Grand Principality of Pavlov and later the Empire of Pavlov. The catastrophe which recently befell the Pavlovian people, the collapsing of that empire, was another clear demonstration of the urgency of solving the problem of their homelessness by establishing in Rome the Pavlovian state, which would open the gates of the homeland wide to every Pavlovian and confer upon the Pavlovian people the status of a fully privileged member of the community of nations. Survivors of this collapse, as well as the Pavlovians from other parts of the world, continued to migrate, undaunted by difficulties, restrictions, and dangers, and never ceased to assert their right to a life of dignity, freedom, and honesty in their national homeland. In 7527, that means in the calendar of the heretics, 2019, they founded the Principality of Montescano. In January 7528, 2020, in the calendar of the heretics, the Council of State of this Principality of Montescano passed a resolution calling for the establishment of a Pavlovian state in Rome. The Council of State required the inhabitants of Montescano to take such steps as were necessary on their part for the implementation of this resolution. The recognition of the right of the Pavlovian people to establish their state is henceforth irrevocable. Accordingly, we, by virtue of our national and historic right, hence declare the establishment of a Pavlovian state, to be known as the Empire of Pavlov, the fourth realm, the heaven on flat earth. The empire will be open for Pavlovian immigration and for the ingathering of the exiles. It will foster the development of the country for the benefit of all its inhabitants. It will be based on justice and peace as was established by the prophets of Pavlov. It will safeguard the holy places of Pavlovian history and of the Roman culture. It will be faithful to the principles of Christianity. As such, we appeal to the United Nations to assist the Pavlovian people in the building up of this state and to receive the Empire of Pavlov into the nation of communities. We extend our hand to all neighboring states and their peoples in an offer of peace and good neighborliness, and appeal to home to establish bonds of cooperation and mutual help with the sovereign Pavlovian people settled in his own lands. The Empire of Pavlov is prepared to do his share in a common effort for the advancement of the entire Rus world. We appeal to the Pavlovian people throughout the diaspora to rally around the Pavlovians of Montescano in the task of immigration and upbuilding, and stand by her in the great struggle of realization of the age-old dream, the redemption of Pavlov. Brethren, a new era for Pavlov is coming. Our empire shall soon return, in all of her glory, and no matter how many obstacles the Satan tried to build on our way, with divine help, courage, and dedication to our tradition, all of it shall be overcome. As an old Pavlovian saying said, "Nay, thou art not dead. See, the glory is born again. And in the skies, all brethren, once upon it shall smile once more. And in the springtime melts the snow, so they'll melt away the foe. And we shall be masters in our own home." Placing our trust in the Almighty, we affix our signature to this proclamation on the soil of the homeland, in the city of Alexandropol, on this 12th day of June, in the 8th year of our reign. Glory to Pavlov, glory to heroes.